In previous videos, we explained the benefits of optimizing a motorcycle's fuel maps. Now we will take a look at how to perform so-called advanced tuning using Diag for Bike. Advanced tuning is the simplest method of basic optimization of fuel maps. In most cases, it is sufficient for optimizing motorcycles with an open exhaust and intake filter. Advanced tuning involves simply choosing a preset calibration from the Diag for Tune database, editing it, if needed, and uploading it into the motorcycle's control unit. For motorcycles with major modifications, such as change in valve timing, etc., advanced tuning is used as the first step in map optimization. It is then necessary to measure real VE maps using a test bench or road test, in other words, to perform professional tuning. All you need to perform advanced tuning is Diag for Bike diagnostics and a tuning dongle. The dongle serves as a license for tuning a single motorcycle and also to store the original calibration taken from the ECM at the start of tuning. Diag for Tune is part of the Diag for Bike software. It supports all Harley-Davidson motorcycles produced since 2006 with a Delphi fuel injection control unit. New model years are regularly added. First, connect the motorcycle you wish to optimize to a charger. Optimization requires the ignition to be on for an extended period of time, which may cause problems to older batteries. A charger ensures that there will be no sudden interruptions in data transmission. The motorcycle must be in flawless technical condition. We recommend cleaning the intake filter and checking that the spark plugs function properly. Check that no other tuning device is installed on the motorcycle. They are usually plugged into the diagnostic connector or directly in the cabling. Not only do these devices often cause problems with communication, but, most importantly, might further enrich the mixture in an already tuned motorcycle. Next, connect the diagnostic cable to the motorcycle's diagnostic connector. The computer requires a stable internet connection for the software to function properly. Launch Diag for Bike, select Harley-Davidson as the manufacturer, and select Tuning. Once the Diag for Tune tuning program is running, you must confirm the following warnings. The use of Diag for Tune tuning is limited to motorcycles intended exclusively for sports. The use of a motorcycle tuned using Diag for Tune in standard road traffic must meet the legal requirements of the country where the motorcycle is being used. Operations provided by Diag for Tune are not permitted for motorcycles used in the territory of the USA. Diag for Tune provides functions intended exclusively for trained and experienced service technicians. The use of these functions requires knowledge of the map structure of the specific motorcycle model. The first step in tuning is pairing the tuning dongle with the motorcycle. Plug a new tuning dongle into the PC's USB port. If you are not sure whether the dongle is unused, its status will be displayed in the bottom right corner of the program. A new dongle always displays as unpaired. Click on the pairing and backup icon to save the motorcycle's original calibration onto the tuning dongle and the computer. Wait until you see a message that pairing completed successfully. If the specific motorcycle model is not supported or was previously tuned by another device, which locked the control unit against overwriting it, the program will inform you and the tuning dongle will not be paired. You can use it again on another motorcycle. Once pairing successfully completes, the pairing and backup icon will change to Restore. You can use this icon to load the original calibration back into the motorcycle with a single click if needed. This ensures that if any problem occurs during tuning, you are always able to return the motorcycle to its original state. Selecting Advanced Tuning shows a screen for selecting a calibration. First, choose the model of the motorcycle you are loading the new calibration into. The fastest way to do so is to click Read VIN from Dongle. The software will read the motorcycle's VIN from the paired dongle. Other methods of selecting the motorcycle model are entering the VIN manually, reading the VIN directly from the motorcycle, or selecting the motorcycle by model year, group, and model. Once you have selected a motorcycle model, the software will load a list of available calibrations. Calibrations in black with the name starting with an A, meaning Actia, are original calibrations from Diag for Tune's database. Calibrations in green with the name starting with a C, meaning Customer, are calibrations you created or original calibrations loaded from motorcycles you have already paired. You now need to select a calibration, taking into account the modifications that have been made on the motorcycle you are uploading to. Actia calibrations are divided into several basic groups, known as levels. Level 0 maps correspond to the original Harley-Davidson map without any adjustments. You can use this map if you wish to return the motorcycle to its original state, or if you want to compare the original to a different calibration. Level 0 Plus maps are only available for motorcycles with Milwaukee 8 engines, and are intended for motorcycles without modifications. The map contains a dynamic AFR map, which improves driving comfort. Level 0.5 maps are only available for Evolution engines in Sportster motorcycles. These engines are very sensitive to any changes to the original state, which is why they received a more detailed map grading. Level 0.5 maps are designed for motorcycles with an open intake filter and original exhaust. Level 1 maps are designed for all motorcycles with an open intake filter or an open exhaust. Level 1.5 maps are once again only available for Evolution engines. It is a configuration for an open intake system and partially open exhaust. Level 2 maps are designed for all motorcycles with an open intake filter and an open exhaust. Level 3 maps are designed for motorcycles with an open intake filter, open exhaust, and modified valve timing, in other words, sharp cams. These maps are comparable to Screaming Eagle Stage 2 maps. The name of the cams the map is designed for is stated in the name of the calibration. Level 4 maps, designed for motorcycles fitted with the Screaming Eagle Stage 3 or 4 kits, are not included in the standard Diag for Tune database. If you need a calibration for a motorcycle with the above modifications, send an email to help@diagforbike.eu with the VIN of the motorcycle and the number of the installed Screaming Eagle kit. Actia CZ professionals will create a calibration for you and send it to your email. If a calibration has the letter C behind its level number, for example level 2C, it means the map is designed for a motorcycle fitted with an exhaust gas catalytic converter. For some motorcycles, there is also the option to choose between maps for a motorcycle with and without oxygen sensors. And for some touring models, there is even maps for motorcycles fitted with exhausts made by specific manufacturers. The calibration selection screen also has an Edit button, which allows you to change the name of the selected calibration. This feature can only be used on customer calibrations, in other words, those in green. Diag for Tune calibrations cannot be edited. You can delete customer calibrations from the database using the Delete button. You can also create a file from a selected calibration using Export. You can then, for instance, send the file by email. Conversely, you can add a file to the database using the Import button. Clicking the I button opens a page on the Diag for Bike website describing supported models and map levels. Once you have chosen a calibration, open it using the right arrow in the bottom right corner of the screen. Now you have before you a calibration prepared for the given motorcycle. If you don't want to make any changes, simply load it into the motorcycle using the Store button and the tuning process is complete. For this tutorial, however, we will go through all the available maps and the adjustments we can make. First is the AFR map. If we have chosen a level 0 plus map or higher, the map is automatically changed to a dynamic one. We explained why that is in the previous video. If we wish to make changes to the map, we selected the area we wish to change with the mouse and right-click to edit the values. We primarily edit AFR maps in cases where the motorcycle afterfires during deceleration. If we identify the approximate RPM at which these detonations occur, we can then select the RPM region and reduce the AFR value by approximately 5 to 15%. This will result in a corresponding increase in fuel content and eliminate afterfire caused by a lean mixture. Next are VE maps for the front and rear cylinder. These maps are preset based on the chosen motorcycle configuration. These maps can also be edited, but as we explained in the previous video, the only proper way to reach correct VE map values is measuring them on the motorcycle at load. Ignition advanced maps for the front and rear cylinder can also be edited. However, doing so is only recommended for very experienced operators. Motorcycles with a Milwaukee 8 engine also have an idle RPM map available. The map describes engine idle speed in relation to the temperature characteristics of the engine and engine runtime in seconds. If we wish to reduce the engine's idle RPM, it is recommended to do so in the last row. In other words, for engine operating temperatures from the 96 degrees Celsius and up. The next map is acceleration enrichment, aka dynamic enrichment. From our experience, it is best to increase the parameters for dynamic mixture enrichment by 5 to 10%. The throttle position control map is designed for setting up dynamic control of an electronically controlled throttle valve. Primarily applies to touring 2008 to 2016 models. The original map places major restrictions on the relationship between the position of the throttle handlebar and the position of the throttle valve at low engine speed. It is likely used as a method to protect the clutch and transmission. If you have selected a level 0 plus map or higher, the map is already preset for more aggressive acceleration. In the constants table, you can edit the name of the calibration, increase or decrease the rev limit, and adjust engine displacement in cubic centimeters. If we installed fuel injectors with a higher flow rate onto the motorcycle, enter the new value in the injector size row. For motorcycles with Milwaukee 8 engines, the table also offers the option to adjust speed limit. Cranking fuel and IAC steps crank to run maps determine the enrichment of the fuel mixture for engine start. The first map defines the amount of fuel, while the second the amount of air. In case of problems with engine start, it is recommended to increase the cranking fuel map by 5%, and the IAC steps crank to run map by 5 steps across the board. Warm-up enrichment and IAC steps warm-up maps determine the enrichment of the fuel mixture shortly after engine start. In the event of unstable engine running shortly after start, it is recommended to increase the warm-up enrichment map by 5% and the IAC steps warm-up map by 5 steps across the board. Finally, let's go over the buttons at the top of the screen. The Print button allows you to print maps into a PDF. The program allows selecting individual maps that are to be printed. The Graph button allows displaying a selected map in 3D. Clicking the Save button survives the calibration into your computer. You must enter your own custom name and description for the new calibration. The Store button is used for loading the calibration into the motorcycle. The Compare button allows you to compare the selected calibration to another calibration. This function can be useful, for example, if you wish to show the customer how optimization increased the VE maps and thus improved the performance of the motorcycle. When comparing two maps, 3 new maps will appear to the right. The VE Engine Base theoretical map lists the average values of both VE maps in the selected calibration. The VE Engine Compared theoretical map compares the average values of both VE maps with the values in the calibration chosen for comparison. The VE engine delta map indicates the change in both VE maps relative to the value in the VE maps of the calibration chosen for comparison. This map best illustrates the increase in the performance characteristics of the engine in all modes. It is a good idea to back up the entire database of your calibrations from time to time. To do so, open the main menu of Diag for Tune, open Settings, and click the Backup icon. The software will compress the database into a single file, which you can then save onto a USB drive. You can restore your database by using the Restore button. To keep everything organized, you can enter the motorcycle's plate number onto the tuning dongle and give it to the customer. The tuning dongle can be used repeatedly to edit the maps of a given motorcycle.